WIP. Your host, Rizzle, Fox Sugar on the intro. Banging and ballistic, banana making all the things.
Dragonade in the box. Hidden Forces is a robot.
Tati wants you to donate to us.
Find Touchstone with a mug in Decentraland. Fractilians are spawning shit in real time.
Fabiano and Patrizia, rat-tat-tat-tat.
Saul is here with the weird things.
Let's try not to break anything else and kick this off.
That was I went the other direction from the Penguin Rock. I tried Sesame Street Jingle to see what came out the other side. Shout out Subjode picking up the intro for Foxy Yoga. Zaal, you're good, man. Shout out Zaal, who's in the house. We're gonna get you on in a second, man. Let me get through my my link vomit and updates and everything, and we'll kick off the real thing. If you're in Hyperfi and you're hearing double audio, mute your tab. We're hanging out on the couch. Zal's going to be doing some screen sharing, and that'll get broadcast in the world. So feel free to join us in Hyperfi and pull up a seat. We're also in Decentraland. It's kind of wild as we spread our WIP tentacles. We got people lurking all over the place. So we got people in Hyperfi watching the live stream. We got people in Decentraland watching the live stream. We got some Web 2 lurkers on Twitch and on YouTube. So and on Twitter, we're live there as well. I think as long as Dragonade's doing his job. Yes, Ballistic Banana on top of it. Oh my God, that's so exciting. Hang on, I'm gonna pat myself on the back here in a second. So let's see. So shout out to everybody who's doing all the things and everyone who's been helping out with this week to pull off this event. Let's see. We are in Hyperfi. I'm going to drop the link. Like I said, mute it. There's a little box on the side if you want to dance. You can hit E if you want to sit on the couch. There's some avatars in the back. There's the link to Hyperfi. You don't have to. You can just chill here if you want and check out the stream in Discord as well. The PiriPay is an app that Tati set up for us. If you like what we do, feel free to check that out. Throw some of your hard-earned money our direction, and we will put it to good use because we are broke and we need that. So do that for us. Let's see, other links. Wait, let's do this together. Go to the WIPmeetup.com. I fixed it. It's I vibe coded. For those of you who have been with us for a while, and following this narrative, I vibe coded the sophisticated website, and then I tried to optimize it, and then I essentially vibe coded myself into a wormhole and broke everything that all the APIs and all the sophisticated shit. And I finally over the last couple of weeks got everything working again. And up until 3 hours ago, the guestbook was not working, but it does now. So if you go through the WIP Meetup, go to the WIPmeetup.com, you click guestbook in the top right. You go through the prompts. I apologize if you got to log into Token Smart again. I did, but holy shit, it finally works. And this is how you get all the things for today. So you got to enter your ETH address. You're going to get the Fabiano and Patricia NFTs just for coming through. You're going to get some WIP coin in your wallet just for coming through. And I'm just so excited that it worked. I did it myself, and it's been such a pain in the ass that you can point people to the website again. The episodes are updating after each one. So you can catch up on all the latest stuff if you haven't been to an event in a while. And that's it. That's how you're going to get the stuff today. So sign the guest book. Speaking of which, if you're holding on to WIP coin, which you probably are, this is where you stake it and you get stuff. And if you've been paying attention, the WIP coin is actually in the gutter. Thanks, Ballistic Banana, for out Epic Dylan, who's in the house, is that we're giving this to everyone for free just for showing up to our events, and you can stake it on the Trinity Labs website, and somehow it makes magic internet money for you that we're giving you for free just by staking it. And that shit works regardless of what the market is doing. So this is a different type of tokenomics experiment. So sign the guest book. Like I was saying, you're going to get some WIP coin for coming through, and feel free to stack it and stake it or dump it or whatever. I don't know. Everyone dumped through the liquidity that I provided, but here we are. Oh man, I'm so glad I don't have to give you the old link for the guest book. We're doing great. Let's see. I'm almost done. A little self-shill. I YOLO vibe coded in 24 hours this really stupid game to try and win this hackathon, and my competition is thin. So just click on that. when you have a second and play my stupid game and give me a couple clicks. I don't even know how they determine the winner or whatever. And it's not my best work. It was me trying to take advantage of a thin thin pool of entries. So I don't even know if that link works. It didn't auto-populate, so whatever. If it doesn't, we'll figure it out. So, that's just about everything from me. We're going to be back next week for one more event before summer break. We got Pablo FM, who rugged us previously. Shout out Pablo, who had to cancel. But he's coming through with some sort of adventure for us. So it should be a really dope one to kick off before summer break. And then we're going to take 2-3 weeks off. And we're going to be back with some of the wildest shit that I think that has come through the whip. Shout out Uncle Matt. We're in conversation, Rizzlefest alum, and just a mad scientist on the blockchain. So with that, I'm going to pass the mic over to Zaal in just a second. So Zaal does a whole bunch of shit. So I'm going to let Zaal intro himself, give you sort of an overview of what he's working on. He was interested in getting some feedback from the audience. So if anyone has a question for Zaal while he's talking, please feel free to drop them in the general channel, and we'll try and get some discourse going at some point here. He's got a lot of stuff going on. We're going to play a game at some point, so we're going to get that going on, and a little competition and some prizes. So I'm going to pass the mic over to him, let him intro, and give you an idea of what he's cooking on, and we'll get this thing going on. So Zaal, my dude, appreciate you coming through and hopping on the whip today, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate the invite and all the kind words. What's up, everybody? GMZM. My name is Zaal, also known as Better Call Zaal. I'm the founder of the Zaal, and I'm here to chat with you guys about the Zabal games. We're going to be doing about a 3-month-long hackathon here. Started up in June, and this is actually going to be part of it as a fireside chat. So my goal is to bring the knowledge sharing portion of this agentic coding together, especially on the Farcaster side of the space, the Web3 individuals who are interested in leveraging the social graph and leveling up, not just having a wallet address, but having more information than that in how you can attack your customers. So ultimately, we're going to be running the Zabal game for 3 months. The first month in June is going to be workshops. The second month is going to be an open build where anyone can submit, and the last month is going to be a curated build in public sesh where we're going to be determining our final winner. So I'm super blessed. I had the opportunity to put up $500 for this event based on winning the FarHack hackathon for the best snap. For those of you guys that don't know too much about Farcaster, it is a social media platform that has crypto enabled into the rails, as well as a protocol where anyone can build on top of the backend that's been created. So one of the really cool toolings that have been created recently on Farcaster is snaps, and snaps give individuals the opportunity to put code into a post. So I could put any kind of poll that I want, not just what X allows me to create in my parameters. I can go and put any link that I want as a button. I can go in and ask people questions and let them share those answers and how they're customized to themselves. So you can essentially add code into casts. And from that, it became very obvious to me, because I wanted to showcase snaps to other individuals, that the implementation at that moment was a little bit too technologically challenging for some of these simple snap ideas that, let's say, my musicians would want to get involved in. I've been working in on-chain music in the last 3 years, trying to grow the on-chain music space because I see a lot of value there. And a lot of my musicians are not as technically oriented. So I created a no-code snap builder called Zlank, ZLANK.online. Any of you guys could go to Zlank.online right now, and I can even give a short demo. Actually, you know what? I'm going to share my screen and give a short demo because it's that easy. I wanted to make it super easy, super smooth for everyone. So I'm just going to type in Zlank.online. Let me just make sure. Oh man. Okay, cool. So This is our Zlank.online functionality. You can just go and press build a snap. As simple as that. Come in and type, we'll say hello from WIP instead of Zlank, and we'll say, come join us on the WIP Meetup. And then there's going to be a link here. I'm going to leave this Zlank.online there, and then I'm going to leave the share, and I'll say in the WIP Meetup. And then all you have to do from there is press this deploy button on the top right, and press share to feed. And from that, with those 2 clicks, you have a pre-built snap already pre-put into your casting window. As you can see here, from here, I could share this link.online, or I could share whatever link I wanted in here. As you saw, I could pick the parameter. So I'm going to just ZM, post that out. And that is just the simple idea. I had a different idea at the beginning of the hackathon and ended up scrapping it and creating this all the day before the submissions ended. So I have improved upon it since. So I've added in these templates. So the goal is to partner with different people and tools that are out there. Not all of these work perfectly, but the ability to come in, use a template for tools like the Zabal Games or Empire Builder. So we'll use the Zabal Games one. I can press use template and immediately deploy and share that to my feed, and that'll give a Zabal Games based blank. So if anyone is interested in making a templated blank, I'm always all ears. Just give me your spec. I'll put it in my AI agent and we'll make it as a template. It's not that challenging or difficult. The beauty of AI tooling is that everyone's just sharing natural language. So I'm going to say ZM. We're going to post this snap as well. And you can check out my Farcaster to take a look and interact with either of those. We're going to be coming back to Farcaster here shortly. So one of the games that I did create for this today, which was created in the last 24 hours since I chatted with Rizzle about this session, was on the Zabal Games website itself. So I'm just going to quickly do a brief explanation of the Zabal Games and show you guys the game and what I intend to do. And I didn't fully finish flushing out, but maybe we'll keep the leaderboard going this whole week and allow people to play around with it, because as of right now, the leaderboard is only local. So whatever you get, if you screenshot it and post it in the Zabal channel, I'll toss you over some Zabal points and we'll do our giveaway that way. But I would love to automate it, and I will continue to build it out this week so that anyone who actually participates in the game will have their score put on a leaderboard, and that leaderboard will be tied into Empire Builder, which is another tool, which I'll come here and show in a minute as well, which we're using for the Zabal Games.
Zaal,
yeah, what's up? I've talked a lot. And,
no, dude, you're doing great. And this is all very interesting. Feel free to drop links as you're talking into the general channel here, so that people can poke around as you're talking about these things, because this is all very interesting. Dude, I have a question about snaps before you move on. Yeah, and if anyone else has questions as we're talking here, feel free to drop them in the general channel, and I can relay, at breakpoints or whatever. Dude, help me understand, in your opinion, what is the biggest value add of a snap? And maybe take the WIP for example, just for a tangible thing. Obviously, I'm promoting the WIP each week. A bunch of us are. We're posting links in the native posts, which maybe it's streamlined better in the snap, but what would be the big value add here? What could be the value add here for sort of potentially reformatting some of those posts, or maybe creating independent snaps? I'm just trying to figure out how to best utilize them, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. So I think there's a lot of things you can do, to be honest with you. And the best thing you can do is just start playing with it. I meant to send this to you guys. I was going to grab the WIPmeetup.com and share that. But I think it's the ability to be as modular as you want. To me, that's the coolest thing, because we get the opportunity. Sorry, I'm just sharing this link. We get the opportunity to put whatever we want on there. So essentially, let's put in the WIP Meetup, right? Apologies. I copied that for you guys. But the WIPmeetup.com, we could plop that into a cast, right? And what will happen is it will create a embedded URL with the embedded image created with the tagline that you've chosen, right, for this. Somewhere in the code, you have longest running Web3 metaverse event. So if I posted just this, that's cool, right? Like, this is great. There's things we can do. Let me, come on. Oh, she's lagging a little bit. But essentially from that, about all you can do, and this is of course on desktop, about all you can do is click on it and go to the URL. And for some reason, I think I'm getting an error, but that might be my Wi-Fi here. The reason I believe that it could be really powerful to have either a mini app or a snap, and these are two different primitives that are offered on Farcaster. For a mini app, the reason I created the Zabal games as a mini app is that when I click on it while I'm in the Farcaster feed, it shows up and I can still continue to scroll the feed. And if I was on mobile, this of course would be on top of it. I could minimize it, scroll, do whatever I'm doing, and then pop it back up at any time. So it's essentially a way to use an external browser within the internal app itself. And that's why I think mini apps are very powerful. Now going to snaps. Before mini apps, they had frames. Frames is essentially the first version of snaps. They were deprecated when mini apps came out. The reason I think Snap can be powerful is instead of only having the ability to have a URL and a embedded link that would show up the same embedded way on any social media platform, you could instead choose to, I'm going to go to my Snap Builder because it's easy. I can go to build a snap. I'm going to say WIP Snap. And what I could do here is I'll pick our theme here for the whip, which to be honest with you is any color. So I'm going to go green. And I can even add multiple pages here. So I have the home page where we'll say hello from Zlank. We'll keep all of these same boxes, but I'm going to add a second page here. And I'm going to add in a chatbot, let's say, right? And then I'm going to also add in a share modal and a link. So I'm going to choose a basic share modal here. Where it's gonna, oh wow, you can do many more things, right? So this one's a share modal. I'm gonna say, check out this snap for the whip. And I'm gonna have open link. I'm gonna open the WIP Meetup link. To be honest with you, I don't know if that'll work without the HTTPS, but let's just, for example, oh no. Okay, I haven't tested 2 pages yet. So there may be a challenge with it. But the idea here is that you can actually have a second page and any button and any functionality that you want. Let me actually, Farcaster posted about it here at one point, which is really powerful. So this is a snap for a meeting. So this is a great example for you guys here at the WIP. You could have a events page here where you could literally just one click in your feed RSVP for something because there's code behind that. And I press this and it's actually going somewhere and doing something. Now it says I'm going and I might get a notification somewhere from that. I can go over to a different page here, RSVPs, and I can share some of these, right? So this is actually mine. Because they're capturing some Farcaster audio spaces. So I'm going to press share, and this is all right within my feed. I'm not putting in any code. I'm not going to any other app or doing anything else. And I'm able to share this snap with the click of one button with all this additional functionality that you don't get in a traditional social media all in and of itself. I hope I was able to explain that well for the reason why you might want to use a snap over basically you would be coding your own embedded website all on your own and you still couldn't get some of this functionality.
Yo, that was great, man. It's very interesting. I'll let you keep going or move on. And if anyone else has any questions, feel free to drop them in the general channel. I think this would be very helpful for us, honestly.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, like me and you can sit here and you can go through just like have a conversation with your AI, teach it about snaps. Basically, you can go to, there's documents somewhere. To be honest with you, I don't have it in my quick grabs, but I'll find it and I'll share it with you. And just share that with your AI harness and say, how can we create a snap around the WIP meetup? You create a spec from that. You send that to me. I'll pop that in my Claude code for Zelenka.online, and I'll tell it, create a template for this type of snap. And what that will do is, instead of having to go in and type all of these different things each time, we can create a template for the WIP, and anyone that wants to can come in, press use template, and then maybe change out one or two things and share out the WIP snap. Like, let's say that's weekly, right? And we could even change it on our own with a template every week. But that's why I created this, was to make it easier to, once you created a snap that you like, to now recreate that with something else on top of that. And that's what I want to do here. So yeah, snaps are really cool. This is one of the reasons why I love Farcaster. We're going to be talking about Farcaster a lot here. One of the really cool things about Farcaster, another tool and functionality of mini apps, is the fact that I'm gonna say, like, we're anyone, right? Fresh off the boat, doesn't have to be Zaal. I'm gonna type in zabalgames.com. That's all. And then I'm gonna press post. That is all I did. I typed in a URL. So now from that, I'm going to go to that cast, and when I click on it, it's going to bring that URL up, but it's actually going to create it as an authenticated window within Farcaster. So I can go in here. Oh man, I'm not sure if this button will work. Okay. It says join with Farcaster. I press join and it says you're in. That is all I have to do to come in and sign up. I think if I refresh this, it should grab my username and my URL and say that I've signed up. Because I'm in the app of Farcaster, and because I'm opening a URL that is authenticated, if you're in a mini app, it will grab your username essentially, and it gives you additional authentications. Now, this can technically work from anywhere. You don't have to be authenticated, but I also added in an RSVP here, or a social share here, which is tell Farcaster. So I'm pressing one button, and that's it. And you guys can all do this. If you guys go do this, I'll make sure to send you over some Zabal if you don't have it in your wallet, because I made it so that you actually tag me on Farcaster anytime this is posted anywhere, and it says a little bit of what we're doing, right? The Zabal Games is live, and we're in a workshop right now. The goal is, of course, I'm going to change this as we go through. It'll automatically post this to the Zabal channel as well. So if I press, I'm going to say, and you can type in anything on top of this if you want. So I'm going to say ZM sharing from the WIP Meetup. Boom. And that's all I'm sharing. And now I can go to this cast. Oh man, I think I missed it. So I'm going to go to this cast. All right, there we go. We're making it there. And you can see here that this conversation is now happening in the Zabal channel. So now anyone who comments under this or chats under this or participates in this is now chatting under the Zabal channel. And I'm going to come back to the Zabal Games here in a second, but I want to share one. Actually, this is cool. So I wanted to show you guys a tool, but what I can do is I created this Zabal game so that I didn't have to explain other people's tools. Anyone can come here and go into recordings and go to number 1. Our recording number 1 is with your Berserker from Empire Builder. The homie built a tool, Empire Builder, that goes on top of Clanker. Any Clanker that's out there, you can create an empire for it and essentially add utility, add a treasury, add a leaderboard, add boosters. So what I did was, in our first meeting here, technically it's going to be the second meeting because we split it up into 2 parts. So part 2, this was our demo. And during this demo, we actually went through creating a tokenless empire right off rip. And I'm going to go to that tokenless empire here. And we created one for the Zabal Games. to show how easy it was. So you can watch that to see a little bit more about Empire Builder. But what we did there was we created a empire for Zabal games without a token. So there's no token associated with it. And I do have a Zabal empire as well. So I have a token related empire that we can also do a quick show for. So what I can do here is I'm going to go to my dashboard. I'm going to go to my Zabal games empire. And this is where I think I would love to have some questions start rolling in from you guys. I don't know. You might have already asked some questions, but I'll come to that here shortly. But I think this is where people will really start thinking what we can do with this tooling and why I am always on Farcaster, basically. This tool lets you create a leaderboard, and this leaderboard specifically is casters engaging in the Zabal channel. So I'm going to press refresh on this leaderboard. It's going to refresh. And in the past, we had 5 people on here on this leaderboard that were posted in the Zabal channel. So this says top casters in Zabal over the last 30 days with an ANR score of over 0.5. So all of those people, anyone, if you go in right now and you have an ANR score of over 0.5 and you go to the Zabal channel and you just say ZM or anything, I guess, just tell us, and I'll press refresh here and we'll see if we can see you. That's what I would love to see. That's one of the things that is very cool, but that's like the very bare bones of Empire Builder. Empire Builder can also do an ERC20 leaderboard with holders or stakers. They can do an NFT holder leaderboard. They can do a Farcaster leaderboard. So this is what I did. I did channel activity for Farcaster leaderboard. You can do a specific cast. So we could do a cast about the WIP meetup, and I'm giving it so let me say this as an example for the WIP. Let's say I'm Rizzle and I create a tokenless empire just like I did for the Zabal games, and I'm going to have Zaal on later today. I can create a post and cast, and I can say cast reactions, and I could do cast reactions on that cast specifically, and anyone who's reacting to that cast specifically could be rewarded based on what you choose. So I'm not going to do rewards here because this token doesn't have, this empire doesn't have anything in its treasury. What I'm going to do is I'm instead going to go over to my Zabal empire that I've been working on over the since we launched this on the 1st of the year. And what this has is I have a bunch of different leaderboards here. One of the leaderboards, a few of the leaderboards I've created, a couple of them are manual CSV leaderboards where I just put in the address and score. So you can put in whatever you want. If you have Rizzle, if you have a list of like all your people that have collected all of your token collectibles, right? And you have that somewhere, you can put an address and a score in a CSV and upload that. And that's all you need. And boom, I believe the Song Jam ones are all CSVs because they started and ended at a specific period of time. Now, what I really like and where I'm excited, and one of the things I was trying to build for today, but I didn't get a chance to do yet, and I promise you guys I will in the next week. So I'll have Rizzle post about this, and maybe that's where we leverage the second leaderboard. But here, I will go to API. And you can create a custom leaderboard of your own choosing that will essentially grab an API endpoint, and anytime you update that on your website, it will update here. So I actually have a API endpoint for POIDH, another tool in this Farcaster ecosystem and general ecosystem, essentially permissionless bounties. And this is perfect. We actually have a bounty up live right now, so I can even just show you an example. Anyone can submit any claim or a proposal to claim a claim. I don't know if that's the right word. It's going to be down here somewhere. Contributors or claims. So essentially, we created a claim that says Zabal Games ad. Make the best ad for Zabal Games, any format. Best one wins. I actually put up 0.1 ETH on base, but the beauty of everything POID is that anyone can come in and permissionlessly add to a bounty if they want to see it happen. So the POID bot came in and doubled our bounty. So we're up to $42 USDC with the value of ETH right now, which was more before when we created it, but that's how the vibe works. But I added, this is my third Poid bounty. This is my third clipping bounty also, where I'm giving a specific date and time and saying the best on this date and time will win the bounty. Other people also do it as hey, I want someone to go and say, from the WIP Meetup and ask a question. What do you know about blockchain today? What do you know about crypto today? And Rizzle, you could be like, hey, I'm going to put up $10 for this bounty. I want someone to go and do a street interview. The first person to do a street interview that follows these parameters of, says this is for the WIP Meetup at the very beginning, so it's not just some recorded thing. And then after that, asks a question to a random person on the street, what do you think of blockchain? And then anyone could submit that as a claim. And what you guys could do here is, if Rizzle posted that, I put $10 here, anyone with a wallet address could add more money to that, because they're saying like, okay, this is only worth $10. This person in another country is not going to make the effort to do it then. But let's say I put in $40 more. Now this becomes a $50 bounty. There's a lot more people that are likely to do that. So we have 4 submissions here for these Zabal Games ad. I'm very excited to watch those through with Kenny next Monday when we have him on the board. But what I did here is one of the things I was finding as challenges every time I've created a bounty, I've found 1 or 2 things that I didn't clarify well enough that people submitted that were technically a part of technically followed the metrics and rules, but wasn't what I wanted. So I added a ton of information here. And so I'm going to actually send this to you guys so that we have it, but it is technically in the URL there. Boom. Okay. This has all of our direct download links of all of our logos, our pre-cleared brand kit. It actually even has a promo audio here of a little audio piece.
Ball Game Season 1 is in search of workshop leads. June is the prep month, a library of recorded sessions that gets a whole cohort of first to vibe coders ready before the ship a thing this July. If you have built something worth teaching, you have a session to give. Visit zabalgames.com, that's Z-A-B-A-L games.com, and sign up. What is the Zabal Games? 3 months, June, July, August. June is prep with Zaal teachers, vibe coding instructors run recorded sessions on tools, context, and the ecosystem. July is the open build-a-thon. Anyone with the vibe coding harness ships a build for the Zabal ecosystem publicly. August is the finals, a cohort curated from July. Each builder paired with a Zaal mentor for the main event, winner reveal.
That was just one. Oh no. Oh, you might have had to be in watching the video to get that audio. My apologies, guys. One of the things I am working on is a Zaal music bot. So the challenge with that is actually running that 24/7. But Poid is another tool we're using. I'm going to have Kenny on next week, talk about Poid. But this is a very simple, let me see if I have the link. Yes. Okay. bettercallzaal.com/Poid has more details about my Poid journeys and how I'm doing it. But essentially, I have a leaderboard here of people who have submitted. And now this is just like if you have created a submission and it applies, then boom, you get a point. So this leaderboard I've put into, I haven't actually added the third bounty, this bounty that I have up on the query here. But essentially, if you submit either to any of them before it's finalized, you'll get a point here. And this is how I actually distribute out a little bit of Zabal to everyone. So I can say, okay, only one bounty winner wins, but what I can do is I can go to my treasury here, which has some Zabal, and I can go and press distribute, and I can select my Zabal token. I can select a specific leaderboard. So for this example, I'm going to do the Poid submitters. And I can pick a distribution amount, and we will go to $1 since this is an example. Bum, 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 bum. And the really cool thing here is, oh, I see it unselected the leaderboard. The really cool thing is, so there's 16 people on this leaderboard. I can either do an even split of that $1. I can do a weighted by score split of that $1, but I can also do a raffle mode. So I can give this $1 to one of the to the one of the 16 people as well, which is really cool. So this is a way that you can do raffles of tokens or of tokens or NFTs as well, actually. So I'm going to press distribute, and I'm going to send $1 of Zabal to one random point submitter, basically. And it doesn't matter if you got one or two. So Joy of Deus got this win. The nice thing is also there's a nice easy share to Farcaster and X. I like the Farcaster one a lot because the embed has how much, it's an embedded snap, but it actually has how much you've distributed, how much you've burnt, and what's in your treasury as well, live there changing. So I'm going to say ZM was in the WIP and had to show an example, right? So I could do that, boom, bap, and that's all you have to do to distribute. It's pretty cool tooling. The last piece of Empire Builder that I'll share here before I should just say you should just go watch the video is the boosters. So there's this terminology here that says boost that has a multiplier. And oh no. So this is a problem I'm at. Oh, okay, no, just someone left. It's cool sharing. Sometimes Discord decides to just stop sharing whenever it wants to. But here, you can actually do boosters of any ERC20 token or ERC1155 token, which is really cool, on base, ETH, or ARB. And you can set that up with any multiplier you want. So if you send me the WIP coin contract address, I'll add it as a multiplier for the Zabal Empire. Here. So shoot me that over. It doesn't even have to be right now, but we can show that as an example. The last thing I'll do is I'll just give a little distribution to everyone that's on the main leaderboard. His main leaderboard is anyone who's on Farcaster that has some Zabal token, basically. And what I can do here is instead of only one winner getting that amount, I'm going to distribute let's say to the Zabal Farcaster only leaderboard, we'll distribute out just the Zabal token, and we'll do, instead of a raffle, we're going to do weighted by score. So we're actually going to give out 20, it needs to be a little higher. There we go. About 20 in Zabal, and we're going to give it to every one of the 263. Man, I have to tell Fly about that glitch, bug, but so, okay, so out of 250, oh, maybe you can, no, okay, no, 263. So out of all of that, it's going to be weighted by score. So a lot of the people at the top half are going to get a significant amount more, but some of the people in that 260 will get some tokens in some capacity, right? So I signed that, and it looks like it's asking me for 2 transactions. For some reason. I'm not 100% sure why. It might be because it's more than 250. So that's distributing it out. And this is like one of my favorite tools to support independent, support other people that are coming in and supporting you. So yeah, that just shared out some to all of these folks. I think you've got to be in here, Rizzle. Maybe not. But yeah, that's 263 people all airdropped a token that quickly. You can also airdrop an NFT if you want instead of a token, right? So you can choose an NFT from your NFT collection. Oh wow, that's cool. Let me send one out. I need to find one that I have multiple though. I don't know if this will. Okay, cool. So I have multiple editions of this. I'm gonna give this to one person. It's a MIDI Punks on the Moon song. Yeah, one recipient from the Farcaster only leaderboard, and I think it'll randomize it. So this is basically an auto raffle, and we're gonna sign that.
Well, for people, is this for people who want to get in, including myself, who should be in? Can you drop a link so people can go directly?
Okay, you know what? To participate in this raffle, because I'll do a couple more post this event. I'm more just showing it. But I can definitely send a link to where I'm doing this. Okay, general. And boom, back. Okay, so this was sent to Onaji. He does have the most, so I'm curious if it's a weighted thing. I'm not 100% sure about that. It could be a weighted thing. But that is some of the tooling that you can do with this tool. And I love it. I have had some awesome conversations with your Berserker, the founder, and DiviFly, the co-founder. They're awesome individuals, super willing to help support other Farcaster builders in the ecosystem. I have the Zabal Empire, of course, and then the Zabal Games Empire. With the Zabal Games Empire, so, okay, the reason I was explaining all this, and I should have given this to you guys a little bit earlier, but I didn't. We can do it now with the last 20 minutes if anyone wants to participate. But zabalgames.com-play is a little 2048 game that I created today. I'll share that there, and I'll post it on Farcaster as well. And I don't know if it updated. Actually, I didn't push the PR, so it definitely didn't update. So it's not perfect, guys. It is a very simple game right now. It just works. It doesn't work well. There's social share functionality and features that I want to add. I would love to add a leaderboard API so that my second leaderboard on the Zabal Games Empire leaderboard will be the 2048 game of Zabal Games. And what I've done with it is I was inspired by Adrian, who made a 2048 game with Vinny app, and I wanted to add a couple of very basic additional things. So it's very simple. It doesn't even have logos yet. It just has text. But if you connect the Zaals, it becomes a Zabal. If you connect the Zabals, it becomes a Ur Berserker. And if you connect the Ur Berserkers, it just keeps going down. So now we got a Joshua. And again, like these should be PFPs, but of course I didn't get a chance to finish this. And it shouldn't ask you to submit your score, although it says Zaal, so I'm interested if it'll get it or not. Okay. Weirdly enough, okay, some things work, some things don't. But if you connect the Joshuas together, you get Plato, and these are individuals that have all done a workshop session, basically, all the individual people. So these are all people that you can go and listen to on the website as well. So yeah, made this as a simple, fun game. And now we got Chris co-created. And then share your scores on the leaderboard. This one button click will share to the Zabal and tag me. So if you do that, I'll shoot you over $1. Anyone who doesn't have Zabal or haven't noticed interact with any of my stuff, I will usually send over $1 of Zabal if they tag me in some capacity on Farcaster. The beauty of Farcaster is I can just send it to your username, your wallet that's connected there, and it's as simple as that. So yeah, shoot me a message, shoot me a DM. Let's get over on Farcaster. Let's get the WIP cooking on Farcaster. Any of the things that I talked about today that you guys might be interested in doing for the WIP, I will help create. I have absolutely no problem re-showing how we did anything, re-ideating and brainstorming about something that I did and how it could be applied to other communities. My goal overall, and this is the last two links that I'll send, is to get through problems that other people I know are going to have in the future to build some of these things. So I have two GitHubs, github.com/bettercallzaal, share that here. And that is all of my stuff. And then I also have a GitHub with the Zaal devs. And this is more official repos. So the Zabal Games repo is on here. You can check out all of the stuff I did here. You can copy it and fork it. One of the communities that I've been a part of this month that's inspired me like crazy. Oh, my apologies. I went to a new tab, so it's sharing my new tab screen. There we go. That's my GitHub. This is the thing I'm probably most proud of right now. Right here is my green circles on GitHub. That's my vanity project right now, is to do 365 days in green. But this is where I'm like putting all my effort, all my energy. This is where I see the future of everything going. It's just like, I will say to you, go to your harness and put in my GitHub and learn more about me, and learn how I code, learn how I interact with the internet. I think it's going to be crazy valuable. This is kind of going to be my link tree of the future. I think other people should get on board with that. There's so many pieces to this world that is applicable through GitHub, and there's so many people on the non-technical side that have heard of GitHub but don't know what it does. I say just like get in there, start trying things, play with things, ask questions to your AI, leverage this tooling now, because I see an awesome future of anything I build being able to be, 10x or 100x in terms of what it can do and the value it can bring by someone else coming in and copying it. So like I can go into a random project. Okay, perfect. Zal's birthday. I created this, didn't get any attention around it, but I wanted to create it because it was an idea that I had. And it was just basically a very simple birthday donation page. So this had some 3D rendering that Candy did. That's in the back, which you can click on. And again, none of this is perfect, but it's all there for anyone to copy if they want it. There's two buttons, a PayPal link and a Giveth link, so you can donate with either thing. This is for our event in October that we're going to be planning, Zaal stock. And like anyone can go here and go to my repo and copy it and tell your AI agent, hey, I want to copy this. You could go in and you could just fork it and I could see your copies. But there's so many powerful things we can do in the open source world. I went to ETH Boulder this year, and their theme was Fork of the Future. So my goal is to create a bunch of primitive code pieces in this agentic world of coding where any non-technical user can manifest anything from natural language and give them the opportunity to build on top of the primitives that I've created. We always talk in Web3 about composable tooling. That's what I want to do. That's why I'm here. I want to create composable tooling for my musicians. Any idea that I have, I can also toss a newer model 3 months later at it myself, never mind someone else. And then if someone else comes with their model or their agentic harness with their memory, with their perspective, and comes at it with a different angle, that can also be another way we can improve some of these repos. So I'm going to stop there. I got to run in about 10 minutes, so I'll leave it open to any questions. I love this community and everything you guys have been doing. Easy and Jose are a huge part of the Zaal and everything we do there. Falens, and a lot of other folks that have been here through different ways, but Falens, Easy, and Jose, cooking and killing it over on Token Smart. Inviting me over there has gotten me to meet all this amazing community. If there's any way I can give back in just building, I will do that. So, Rizzle, you got my number. You can message me about any of the ideas that we want to do that I've done for the WIP. Like, it'll be 20 times easier for me to rebuild those. And it'll be maybe 100 times easier for me to rebuild it because I've done it once than someone else. So, yeah, let's cook. Let's keep killing it. I love Discords like this where there is more than, 5 people listening. I still find crazy value in Discord. The reason I came into the space in 2023, I guess I never gave any background on myself. My name's Zaal. My username is Better Call Zaal. I came into crypto in 2023 after working with a musician for 3 or 4 years before that. Saw that independent artists, music industry is like the easiest problem that blockchain can solve. I am blessed to be around some cool people that do cool things that I was just lucky to come in during a bear market. So people were very helpful in wanting to teach. So I've been doing this all since 2023 and trying to level up with all the folks that came in the 2021 NFT bull run and maybe didn't get the same onboarding that I did. And I'm also lucky I got my electroengineering degree. I have an inherent understanding of computers that I thought was common knowledge that I'm learning very quickly is not. So if there's any times that I need to slow down or explain something more, I'm super willing to do that. I'm super excited to do that. And if I can't do that, point you into the direction of someone who has the time, bandwidth, and energy to do that. So yeah, I'm here to help independent artists, anyone who's creating a project, anyone who wants to make the world better in their image, right? Like that's why I love Web3 is finding people from these different perspectives that want to do that. I'm trying to do it on the music angle, but to be honest with you guys, I'm only in the music side because I was working with a musician in entrepreneurship and the music on-chain industry hasn't had its time in the sun. I'm a trading card games person through and through. I'm going to be creating a game for sure in the future as we evolve and level up using all this technology, all this tools, all the IP we're working on creating to build. And yeah, I'm stoked to be here with you guys. Let me open up the general channel. Okay, cool. Not a lot of questions yet. I see Ballistic Banana posted thing. Let's see. Ballistic Banana, amazing. Okay, cool. So it's set. It looks, guys, it looks like the last Claude Code message I sent 10 minutes before this session solved two problems that I saw. So let's go. It looks like everyone's leaderboard things are showing up. So that's great. That's great. Maybe I can do the leaderboard thing after all. WIP contract address. Amazing. Let me show you guys. And we can add this right now. Okay. Yeah. Actually, if you give me a list of wallet addresses, I could just airdrop Zabal to everyone, and then I could refresh the leaderboard, and everyone would automatically be on it.
Oh, this is a perfect segue, man. It's for me to plug our website. So sign the guest book. Make sure you go to the WIPmeetup.com, hit guest book in the top right, and follow the prompts so we can not only get you on the leaderboard here, but send you the NFT gifts from Fabiano Patrizia and the WIP coin and all the shit. Oh, man, you couldn't sign it. It's so annoying. All right, I'll drop a backup link here for anyone who's having trouble with the website, but it should work. It was working earlier. God damn it. Yo, Zaal, question for you. While I'll drop a Google Doc link here in the general channel for anyone who's having trouble with the guest book. Shout out to everyone watching in DCL as well. Dude, how much? This is sort of like a broad stroke question, man. I'm a big fan of Farcaster for a lot of the same reasons that you are. I think it offers a lot of like really interesting webby functionality, man, that I think, building on top of each other's stuff is, really how this is designed, sort of like Lego. A lot of appreciation and respect for, how you're working with different projects that all sort of fit together and benefit each other. And I think there's also a lot of like very low hanging fruit here that would be helpful to the another time. But my question with all that intro is how much of what you're building is, oh shit, am I coming in and out?
No, you're good. Don't worry. We got the context.
Okay, cool. How much of what you're building on Farcast, how much of what you're building broadly is dependent on Farcaster and Farcaster's ecosystem, protocol, etc.? And do you have concerns about anything being sort of like locked into there? And maybe your stuff is, maybe your stuff isn't.
You have a vacuum cleaner right here that you fought your mom about. So
wait,
why
what?
are we not using it?
Sergio's like talking to his mom about vacuum. Sorry, server muting Sergio. Wait, who's got the vacuum?
Okay, so great question, Rizzle. Yes and no. Yes, things are tied to it right now. No, the goal is to not be tied to it, and there's a possibility of doing that. We could have a longer conversation. I do have to rock out in a couple minutes, and this is a longer conversation that Kush is. It comes with interesting conversations because Farcaster is pretty small, so people bump into different people in different capacities. But an individual you've had interactions with this week is building really cool things. And I believe that the work Cassie is doing towards the Farcaster decentralization and protocolization of the actual platform and taking it away from, if Nanar decides to just like stop working on Farcaster, it, as of today, would not be possible to continue Farcaster because it costs way too much to actually run a validator. And that is the biggest reason Cassie has done this push towards Snap Chain, and everything going on over there. If you want a better or more of an explanation, join me tomorrow with Cassie, I think 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Again, all of the conversation here is going to be recorded and put up as a transcript on my website. The conversation there is as well. So if you miss it or come back in a week or two and are like, oh man, like I want to listen back to one of these things, it's all going to be there. But I think what Cassie is doing to me is the reason why I think that's a no for the future, Rizzle, and why I believe that I can get to a point where if everyone and everything blew up, I would still have my Farcaster nodes and the people that run my validators essentially, and that would be the place that I want to be at in the future. the reason I am currently tied to Farcaster is because I use the Nanar API keys to interact with the social graph. If I had my own validator, I could use that to use my own functionality to query the graph on Farcaster. So not right now, but people are working towards it. And I think that's one of the coolest things about the space is like, I'm finally having an opportunity to see the back end of the protocol, see what people are doing open source wise, see how PRs are getting pushed at a protocol level. And those things give me a lot more confidence that in the end of the day, other than Bitcoin and Ethereum, there's not a decentralized tool out there, in my opinion, not fully decentralized. So that means either people are working towards being decentralized or they are saying that and faking it. And that's like the only two categories people can be in as of this moment if you're not Ethereum or Bitcoin. And I think a majority of people don't fall in the like actually trying to get to that point. And it's more of a conversation topic. And that's where like seeing how people are interacting with that and trying to move towards that has given me the confidence that this is the right place, whether it's Farcaster or not. These people that are here have a high enough signal and autonomy to move to the place that does if this place and environment doesn't give that to us. So the reason why I'm full bore on Farcaster is even if quote unquote Farcaster protocol dies, the people that are here building and creating and doing things on top of it will need to go somewhere. And, you know, if it's my place at that point, so be it. If it's someone else's place at that point, so be it. But I know someone from this conversation is going to be the one that creates that next thing if this doesn't survive through whatever, you know, future we're at. So I'd say that's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking. I would love to talk more about Farcaster. If anyone ever wants to co-host the Farcaster space with me, that's open to everyone now. There's another platform called Juke Audio that's really cool that I would definitely suggest you guys check out. Juke.audio. It's on iOS beta and Android beta right now, made by Nikki Sapp. I'm semi on the team in an unofficial partnership. And I'm basically helping him improve his Farcaster client that also has native audio spaces that he started just a little bit before Farcaster client, that if you start them on Juke, it is open on the Farcaster native client. So what that means is I am on Nikki Sapp's custom private app, or private, public, whatever, like very small amount of users on that app. I create an audio space there and I can record those audio spaces there. And that's not something I can do on Farcaster main app. But when I make that, it transposes the space also to Farcaster. So I could start it on Juke and Rizzle could join in on Farcaster and have that same conversation. And Quorum is built by Cassie and team as well. And that's another place that has spaces. I'm going to use the Juke API keys and use the Juke functionality to create spaces on my bot. And so this is like a few levels up now. So the Zaal chat, let's say, is going to be powered by Juke. And because it's powered by Juke, you could see those spaces that are maybe you could only start them privately in my community chat. And you can actually see them. Anyone could see them on the Farcaster client. And it's showing up at the top of your feed, right? If you're following me, let's say. So that's where I'm that singular piece of like all these front ends are connected to the back end is that to me is nowhere else to the same scale, is why I'm so excited about everything we're doing. But I gotta rock out. I hope that answered some questions, Rizzle. I say we need to just do a Farcaster audio space and continue this conversation because it's been phenomenal. I'd say, yeah, let's split this up into 2 fireside chats and just continue on from here because I have so much more I would love to say. It's always a pleasure like meeting and chatting with you guys. Oh shoot, we got a bunch of chats here. Let me just confirm. Okay, so I'm gonna send out some Zabal to anyone who I'm going to try and find $20 as a ball and send it to anyone by the end of the day today who participated in the 2048 leaderboard. And then if you tag me on talking in the Farcaster channel, I'll also toss you over some Zabal and we'll get you on our Zabal leaderboard. Thanks guys for having me. Phenomenal time. I think Rizzle was the one who popped off.
Yo, no, I'm here. I think.
Oh, okay, no, never mind. No, yeah, we're good.
Zal, appreciate you coming through. I know you got a dip. I'll keep it quick here, but really appreciate you showing off all this stuff. If you're not on Farcaster, we do have a channel on Farcaster, so if you sign up, make sure you also join the WIP Meetup channel. Zal, we'll be in contact definitely because I would love to talk to you about some of this stuff, and I'm always down to join a thing. Like if you want to hop on a space or do a podcast or whatever, man, you can always hit me up. Shout out Cassie who blocked me. I do appreciate what Cassie's building. Her and I have some personality differences, but that's all right. We can maybe be friends at the end. So, yo, dude, I appreciate you coming through very much. And next week we got Pablo FM coming on, who's setting up an adventure for us. He's in the audience, so shout out Pablo. And then we'll be on break for a couple weeks. So make sure you go to thewipmeetup.com and sign the guest book. I think you have like a minute left. So if you goof that up, let me know. Then I'll give you the backup link so you can get all the stuff from today's events in your wallet. And I think that's just about everything. Oh, we should take a group shot. Where is everybody? We have more people in Decentraland. Zal, you got to head out. You can head out, man. We're going to take some silly group shot to sort of commemorate this event.
You know what we should do a space? Is you telling me more about Decentraland. Because I'm not going to lie, I don't know crap about it. I'm going to buy a plot and I want to make, I have a bunch of ideas for things that I want to do there. It's a simple place to like interact with you guys, but just like, let's have a DCL conversation. That'd be a great next combo. Appreciate you guys. Yep. Feel free to DM me also for any questions. I'm available here. Just tag me in the general chat and I'll eventually get to it in the WIP meetup. Feel free to join our Discord, discord.thezow.com. Although I've heard that link is expired. I don't believe it because it works fine for me, but who knows with Discord. Yeah, let's go. If you guys have any ideas for Discord, I'm always like, I think Discord's such a crazy platform that people are still sleeping on. So thanks, guys. Appreciate the time, and we'll all chat soon. Peace.
Yes, we'll do a Decentraland talk. Now is not the time if you've never been there because you're going to have to download a client and all this shit. But if you got 2 seconds,
no, so it's on my desktop is the issue. And that's where I like, yeah, that's the reason I didn't actually try out Decentraland more. I joined in a couple of Felens. Felens invited me. That's when I installed it. And I just thought to myself, the metaverse is cool because you can just go to Google Chrome and type in a URL and go to it. Because that's, again, I came in 2023, post all of the like boom, right? The bull market. And everyone was really down on metaverses at that time. But I saw I still think that there's crazy value in typing in a URL, like let's say meta.zabalgames.com, and immediately going to a place where you could potentially interact with people. So yeah, I think it'd be really cool to do the same thing, but like with Farcaster, so it auto authenticates your Farcaster FID, and like you don't even have to sign in. But anyways, we can chat more about it. Metaverses, that's what we'll do. We'll play around in DCL, but we'll make that topic.
Check out the Hyperfy link that I just dropped in the general channel for anyone who just popped in. That's what you're looking for in terms of just sliding into a URL and joining us. There's several of us on the couches there. So if you have time to hop in, let's do the group shot for ease of access and Hyperfy. No shade to DCL. I'm a fan of DCL, but it does involve a little bit more legwork to get set up instantly. So everyone hop into Hyperfy real quick. I dropped a link in the general channel. Come over to the couch. We'll roll the Paradox theme song and maybe get a fake Paradox in here, and we'll wrap this thing for today.
Just a humble cameraman looking for a tiny bit of attention. It's me, Paradox. Get your asses in line and smile for the fucking camera. No one cares about Matthew and Rizzle, that's for sure. It's about me, Paradox. I'm taking over the show.
Did I say DCL? We're lost without Paradox. This is the problem. People in DCL, and I just got bumped out of Hyperfy anyway. If the people in DCL can take a screenshot of themselves in DCL and drop it here, and if the people in Hyperfy, well, I turn back into a frog because I just got booted and naked, we got a cake running to get lined up too. So if we could do like a collaborative cross metaverse group shot, I don't think that's ever been done before. And so, maybe we don't even need Paradox anymore. Paradox, if you're listening, hang on. Let me get it. I'm trying to multitask and I'm like still trying to get into my frog suit here. All right, no, don't wait for me. Let's get yeah, there we go. Let's get a couple DCL screenshots in there. And one more call to action. If you weren't able to sign into the WIPmeetup.com and get the guest book, DM me so we can get you all the stuff. And thank you, Cakes, Dancing Frogs, Weird Dino, Duck Valiant. Shout out Dragonade for helping out. Subgeode on the pre-whip, Zaal for coming through. And we'll see everybody next week with Pablo FM. Shout out to everyone in DCL just holding it down. This is pretty cool to see. You know? Thanks, everybody. See you next week.
One, two, three, four. Sunshine, mashed potatoes. I want chicken. Cheese. Fuck yes. Oh, cheese. Oh, cheese. Oh, cheese. Oh. This is awesome. 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 Sweet dreams are made of cheese. Pizza's good too. I like where this is going. Yeah. Lactose intolerant. Oh, death to audio. Audio problems, death to audio problems, death to audio, a gift of cheddar cheese. Audio problems don't deserve to live. To emoji with the tongue sticking out. And Mentaler and Gruyere, that almost rhymes. Cheddar is money given now. Spend some of your cheddar on that, please. Rizzle says death to audio problems. Rizzle says death to audio. Oh, Rizzle says death to audio problems. Rizzle says death to audio. Lots of gifts of cheesy things, all up in the Discord of meme explorers. Oh, lots of gifts of cheesy things. Cat with heart eyes, clap, clap, clap. Cheese steak, cookies, hi, cheese is the best. Gifts of cats with cheese on their faces, death, death, death. The only thing we love more than cheese is gifts. The only thing is fondue. Rizzle says death. Kitten says LOL, and Elmo's on fire, and Ernie's got condoms on his ears, so fire, so fire. Death to audio, death to audio, LMAO, give me cheese, oh give me death to audio, death to audio. Vibe check. Vibe check. Death to high ping. I want some lemonade. Make cheese great again. Condoms on the ears. That's what it looked like to me. Oh, death to audio problems, to audio, death to audio problems, to audio. I'm vibing, make cheese lemonade. When life gives you rotten cheese, you make cheese lemonade. So much cheese and some sriracha, some cheese and some sriracha. Me vibing big time when Rizzle coins. You make nachos, you make nachos. Love the song so dope. Stuff that cheese in your face. Stuff that cheese in your face with jalapeno. With jalapeno. In your face, cheese whiz. Pickles, yes, cheese whiz. In your face, I said death to audio, to audio. Oh, death to audio, to audio. Oh, death to audio, to audio. Death makes me audio, to audio. Death to audio, audio. Death to audio, audio. Oh, death to audio. Yeah, that's it. Oh my lord. Whew. I have to turn on the fan.